Hey, thank you very much for joining us. It's a serious matters on ONIF 2. My name is Olukunle Abraham. And of course, Peter will be in the news again from the Jos rally. But then let's just quickly see what happened at the Jos rally. He was, you know, when people say, when people kind of down talk, the kind of mammoth crowd that follows the obedient movement, you know, I just smile and I laugh. I wonder how people could be so unreal to themselves, because the truth is you can lie to everybody, but why should you always tell yourself the lie, a lie? You know, we saw a video of where some persons were being paid to enter a bus and all of that. People say, hey, Labour Party is paying people to. How would a party that has no structure, where would they have gotten so much money to be paying people to attend rally? What for? It doesn't. A rally does not translate into election. It doesn't translate into votes automatically. You know, the people have to go to the ballot, to go to the polling units and actually cast their votes for that to actually happen. So it really doesn't make any sense. Who are they trying to impress for them to say they are paying people to, you know, to come to rally? I mean, for crying out loud. I mean, if it's just, we can get paid to do anything legitimate anyway. But then, so if someone is told that please come and attend this rally, I'll pay you 500, I'll pay you 1,000 naira. Why not? When I'm not doing anything, just go and attend rally. But then that's not the case here. Look at what happened in Jos yesterday when Peter Obi attended, and when he was he carried a young boy that was bearing the flag of the party, and look at the way people were responding. Let's watch it.
Hey, what's up, beautiful people? This is Stadium TV. Yes, Peter Obi is live at the Jos rally that happened today, and the crowd was mad, loud, and crazy, shouting obedient. And of course, Peter Obi waving the flag with a young boy in his hand, the flag of the Labour Party. Check it out on Stadium TV.
Good. Wow. Look at this little boy. This is true law. It's not an issue of
Well, I don't expect people not to feel intimidated by this crowd, you know. And yes, the APC also had their own rally, and you know, they had this number of persons and all of that. That's okay. Let us just celebrate what each and everybody has, you know. But then I'm going to show you another video now, and though it's a bit lengthy, but then please pay attention and just watch this video. You see, to be informed is to be refined and reformed. To be informed is to be refined, is to be reformed. If you are not informed, you will be deformed. And so, come 2023 election, the candidates that we have, especially the major ones, I think more than ever before, we should place a demand on them. And just like Peter Obi said in Jos, that no more excuse, they should be held responsible for their promises. Even though he has not promised 100%, nobody will do that. I mean, but then I said, look, if I say I will do 5 and I do 3, I think that is a pass mark. And so, but there is nothing that says that you cannot score all, you know. And so in this video, this interview on Arise TV, Peter Obi appears and he makes clear what he has in intentions. These are no issue of whether it is my turn or your turn. It's not an issue of turn. He said, I do not have a lifetime ambition to rule Nigeria. He said, that's what Peter Obi said. He said, I don't have a lifetime ambition to rule Nigeria. I have a lifetime. His lifetime, his ambition is to see Nigeria become what it was ordained, or what she is ordained to be, what she is what she has the ability to be. He said, I have a lifetime passion to make Nigeria the pride of the world. A lifetime passion. That is, and like I was sharing with somebody less than 24 hours ago, that look, Nigeria is a great nation. Nigeria is a great nation. This one that everybody is relocating and relocating. All of us cannot run away, and that's the truth. We are only running from our shadows, and that can't be possible. Wherever you go to in the world, you are a second-class citizen. This is where you are a number one citizen, and you will be treated as the best. Nigeria is the best country that you can ever live in the world. Most freest, and all of that. We only have structural issues, which I believe that with a very good leader in position. Somebody was sharing with me, an elderly man was sharing with me of the times of Idi Agbon when we had the war against indiscipline. You know, even though Idi Agbon was ruling from Lagos, people as far as north dare not pee where they are not supposed to pee, dare not defecate or do anything nasty anywhere. You just hear people chanting, why, war against indiscipline. But where are those things today? We lack structure. We lack. I mean, not like we lack structure, but then, pardon me, we lack a working structure, a working organization, a working system. That's what we lack. If we will put the system to work, then we will not have issues. The issues we are having now, they are issues of I do my part, I don't do my part, and I blame you for not doing your part. And so together we become we began to play blame games. You understand? So it's supposed to be a game of I do my part, you do your part, and everybody's fine. You know, there will be less, issue of criminality. There will be less issue of insecurity. You know, how can a politician come today now? A politician comes in today now and start promising us water. Still, all the manifesto since then up till now. The only people who had very unique manifestos were people like Pa Awolowo. They had very unique men like Nnamdi Azikiwe. They had unique manifesto. Don't come and tell us that we will do water for you. We'll give you electricity. In fact, this party that can come and tell us that they will give us water, they will give us electricity, under whose watch ASUU has been on strike for over 7 months. Under whose watch? In fact, the Owo massacre is enough to floor the APC. They should cover their face in shame. This administration should cover their face in shame. This administration has made it very difficult, as it were, for subsequent candidates in the party to accept somebody who has been proven, somebody who is proven. How would you make things life so unbearable? Nigeria is it's just at that precipice where if we make a wrong decision like this, pam. Somebody said it's likely we don't have a country that we can call our own again, or we might likely not have a Nigeria again. So let's watch this video. And please do pay attention to it. Watch it to the very end, because I wanted to hear some very, very intricate matters that Peter Obi shared in this particular video. I want you to hear them. Please watch this video. This man means business for us. It means business for us. It means business. It means business. So please, let's take note. It means business. This man means business. So please, let's watch. And like I said, in my introduction of this particular section, please listen to our candidates. Listen to all of them. Listen to Asiwaju Bola Ahmed Tinubu. Listen to Atiku Abubakar. Listen to Kwakwanso. Listen to Peter Obi. Listen to Omoyele Sowore. Listen to Adebayo and all of them. Listen to everybody. Listen. Then you weigh the matter. You weigh the matter. Make sure you are not just being sentimental. Make sure you are not just being ethnical, or you are being tribalistic, or you are being religious. No, set aside all those matters. Those ones they are not the main thing. The major thing is this person sincere? And like I would always use the 4-way test of the Rotaract Club. Kudos to the Rotaract Club again. Now, like I would always use, number 1 test says, is it the truth? Is it the truth? Is it fair? Is it fair to all concerned? Is it fair to all concerned? Number 3 says, will it benefit all that is concerned? So that means whatever the candidates are bringing to the table today, make sure you check them on these platforms, on this particular test. The first one I said, is it the truth? Are they telling us the truth? Number 2, is it fair? Is there fairness in what they are saying? Number 3 is that will it benefit all that is concerned? And number 4, will it build goodwill and better friendship to all concerned? In other words, is there unity? Does this person intend to unify the nation, keep the nation together? Or is this person going to divide the nation? By their fruits. And what is the fruit? The fruits of their lips. By their fruits we shall know them. Let me leave you to watch this video. Please watch this video. Very, very important. Watch this video. Watch this video. Watch this video. Let's see the video together. Yes, I want us to watch this video. It's from Arise TV. Yeah.
So, in about 5 months' time, Nigerians will go to the polls in presidential elections. One of the leading contenders is Peter Obi of the Labour Party. And with him in that race are Atiku Abubakar of the PDP, Bola Ahmed Tinubu of the APC, and Rabiu Kwankwaso of the NNPP. It's expected to be one of the most important votes since Nigeria returned to democracy in 1999. And the battle between the 4 frontline candidates, as well as 14 others who are vying for the top job, begins in earnest today, the official start of the campaign season. So how will they win over the voters in a country in which politics often feels a world away from the daily struggles of most Nigerians? How can they convince a skeptical electorate that they are the one who should be chosen at this specific point in the history of Nigeria to bring this country back to the right path of rectitude? Well, to attempt to answer those questions, I'm suitably delighted to say that the presidential candidate of the Labour Party, Peter Obi, joins me now in the studio. Thank you so much for being here.
Thank you for inviting me.
Long day for you then?
Very long day, starting long day, having to go to Jos and then coming back from Jos. Very long day.
Well, we appreciate your tenacity and the fact that in spite of the length of the day, you made it as you promised you would. Help us reimagine Nigeria if you win. What will this country be like under your watch?
Well, you've said it. Whoever assumes office next year as the president of Nigeria will be faced with an array of daunting tasks that he needs to deal with. At times looking so insolvable or huge that it can even scare you. But like I said, as difficult as it looks, it is not insolvable. There's quite number of areas to start with. And for me, the number one thing is security. Security today is impacting on virtually all facets of the country. It's impacting the most, what I can call the most important area you need to deal with ordinary security, the economy. The economy is in a bad shape. But unless you solve your security, you can't live with that, because it's impacting heavily on that. It's impacting on inflation, it's impacting on your ability to attract investments and everything. So that is the number one thing to deal with. Because if you deal with that, you can then start dealing with the other issues, which includes dealing with ensuring there's rule of law, under which you have corruption, law and order, bringing about a regulatory environment that can attract investment. And then you move on to other things, dealing with the issue of human capital, issue of some physical infrastructure like power and everything.
So security top of your in tray.
Number one.
But obviously, as you said, a very dark cloud hanging over this country with regard to insecurity in general, kidnapping, banditry in particular. How would you go about actually lifting that dark cloud?
Well, I've said it repeatedly. You need to be decisive. It is not impossible. There's quite a number of things which I can't disclose here that you need to put in place.
Well, that's really what we
But
want
among
to
them,
talk about, isn't it?
But among them
Yes.
is multi-level policing, from local government to state to national. Looking at reviewing the entire security infrastructure, security architecture. You need to deal with this. Be able to have appropriate manpower, appropriate equipment, training, support, motivation. There's quite a number of things. And I can tell you, it's something that I study every single day. I've met various arms of our security system, do a detailed study, compared with other nations of the world, and imagining what to do. People will always say, that's the detail we want you to give. No. Once it's security, all I can tell anybody is that I should be held responsible.
Right.
We'll be decisive, we'll be precise, because I keep saying that is the most critical thing to deal with. If you're talking about the inflation today, the first thing you need to deal with is the food inflation. And that can't happen unless you get your farmers back to the farms. And they are not there because of insecurity. So you need to get them back, support them with implements and what they require to grow more food. Your biggest physical asset today is the vast land in the north, which you need to cultivate. I just came back from Jos. We ordinarily, if things were working today, we should have a factory for chips, especially now that you have fast food all over the place. Because you can grow potatoes there and everything. You could have coffee, everything, but the farmers are not there. And I asked them, they can't go to farm because of insecurity. So for you to turn around the country economically, you need to deal with that. And it must be such. For you to attract foreign investment, local investment, you need to deal with that.
Yeah, but obviously reforming the security agencies and the whole security apparatus will take time and is likely to be felt in the medium to long term. But
It
in
might
the
not take as long as you think.
I was going to ask you, in the short term,
I can tell you.
what would you do to bring measurable relief?
You will be, as long as you're firm and decisive and deal with it firmly, the things that are happening here that you can deal with as quickly as possible.
You know, of course, that from your own experience, you've been in office as a governor, that running for office is very different from actually being in office. Because if you win, that's when it really hits you, and that's when you ask yourself what you got yourself into in a country where victory has so many variables and so many implications. How would you hit the ground running? What would your in-tray look like? You've talked about security, you've talked about the economy, what else?
Agree and disagree, because I've been in it. This is the time to learn. This is time to ask questions. This is time to listen about what you need to do when you get into office. Getting into office and start saying what you saw when you got in, I think It's not the right thing.
No, I think what I mean.
So when you get in there,
yes,
you should already have an idea, a belief of what you want to do.
yes.
I've been there before.
But then when you get in, the picture is often different.
No,
when you
not much.
Right.
It might be, but a little bit.
Right, okay.
Because you have taken time to say, well, listen, I'm going to do this. I'm going to do this. I'm going to do this. And that was why when I started in my previous experience, I hit the ground running from what they want. And that was why I was impeached within 6 months, because people saw things change very quickly.
Yeah, but that's exactly what people want to hear about, how you're going to balance the promises you make in the campaign about all the things you're going to deal with, and you know what your strategy is going to be when you get it.
What I can assure you is that, and I say it, I should be held responsible. And wherever I talk now, and I say, people, I want you to put on tape. I'm not talking to a spokesperson. I'm talking to you directly, so you know that I'm going to do this. And you can go and ask questions in my previous engagement or involvement, whether what I say. So what we're going to see now is that all of us are going to say the same thing. All of us are going to promise the same thing. 18 of us. It is a question of who can we trust? Who can we believe? Can we look back and say, what this person said in the past, did he or she accomplish that? Or even attempt to? You might not achieve 100% result, but people will see 100% effort. And I can tell you, you can do it from day one.
And are you prepared for the other outcome, the possibility that you might come tantalizingly close but still lose?
Well, it's an election. It's like going into a match. I'm there to win. And that is my commitment. And I don't think I'll lose. Because there's quite a lot, and even I don't think even God will allow me to lose, because he knows the suffering of youths and young people in Nigeria.
But on a practical level, if you end up not winning an outright majority in this election, which is possible, possibly even probable, because a lot of the polls are predicting a very close election, what would your next move be?
Well, I won't say what my next move will be, because I think I'll win.
And if you had to reach out to another of the candidates to form some sort of coalition or alliance, who would it be?
Well, I won't say that at this stage. The most important thing for me is that I think I'll win, because they need to start solving the problem of Nigeria.
Right, but in terms of ideology, if there is any such thing in Nigerian politics and practice, what are the differences between you and Atiku Abubakar of the PDP, for instance? I mean, you both belonged to the PDP before you left the party, and you were, of course, his running mate in 2019. I mean, so presumably you share some similarity in terms of your political philosophy and approach. Why should Nigerians choose you in preference to him?
Well, first let me tell you, I said it before, there's no different ideology between all of us who are running. Our politics has not matured where you have different ideologies and different beliefs and everything. We are at what you can call developmental level. So there's not much difference. What we are competing today, or what Nigerians need a choice before the end, of all these people promising the same thing, who can we trust? So what we're selling now is trust.
Right, I understand that, and
what we're selling now is character.
Did you not trust him when you were his running mate?
No, I did. That was the yesterday. That was the past.
So I'm still asking.
So for me, the past is gone.
Right.
We're dealing with the future, things that have gotten worse. And at this stage, I think I can solve the problem.
Right.
I don't want to go to the past.
Okay, and the reason they would choose you in preference to him is because you're more trustworthy than he is. Is that what you're saying?
No, in preference to all others.
Right,
that
including himself.
That I believe that I'm the most qualified.
Right. Now let's move away from that and talk about the issue of things like fuel subsidies, which are clearly a huge drain on resources which can be used for the development of Nigeria, which we all know those fuel subsidies are simply unsustainable. Would you have the political will to remove fuel subsidies if you became president and risk the wrath of the very powerful unions that are a big part of your Labour Party?
Everybody saw when I listened to my speech at the Lagos Chamber of Commerce. First subsidy, haven't heard it. Let me repeat, is organized crime. 50% of it is corruption. You can deal with it day one. The other 50% is for you to deal with it where you remove it, but you must offer on.
Well, Your Excellency, just hold on. You see, for me, I believe, like I said earlier on, by their fruits we shall know them. When somebody is passionate about something, and it's not just being self-centered about himself or whatever he feels he wants to be that he hasn't become, you know. Like I would always say, the presidency is not about you becoming something, or you know, like, oh, I love to become, I dreamt of, I had this dream of becoming this, and so on and so forth. That's not supposed to be the in thing. It's supposed to be about what you have for the people. And like we've had, you know, some one or two persons, candidates saying that, oh, you know, I have a lifetime ambition of becoming the president of Nigeria. Who will not? I mean, who does that? Who will not? Who they go put ONIF for him mouth where he go squeeze face? You know, I mean, you know that is a very juicy position. So you want to be the #1 citizen of Nigeria, and here we have somebody doing it for the second time in his lifetime, and that is he did in the military regime, and he's also doing in a democratic regime. And so it boils down to what they have to offer. It boils down to what they have to offer. Now, let me just run through a few other stuffs that are making the round. A few other stuffs that are making the round. We saw in the news of Adamu, APC, accusing Tinubu of breaching agreement on campaign council. Recall that the video we did yesterday had to do with the chaos that is being that's erupting in the APC because of some changes that the presidential candidate of that party did to the campaign council list, which was done after it had gone to the president, and being the chairman of the party, he had signed, and then the presidential candidate went ahead and made changes. And looks to me like, is it like we do not have regards for the president anymore, or you know, even if the changes were going to be made, shouldn't it go through the right process and all of that? So a lot of things are happening. And also, the latest saying now is that Tinubu is to miss the Peace Pact signing. Tinubu will not be attending that Peace Pact signing. Premium Times makes it clear that Tinubu will not be attending the Peace Pact signing. However, he will be represented by his running mate. Nigerians, think twice. He will be represented. He will be represented. NBA, he was represented. We've not seen him on Arise TV anyway, because he has been invited, but then we have not seen him. So let's see how things run. Let's watch the rest of this video. Let's watch a little bit more. Then you know we can call it a wrap. Let's watch a little bit more.
Another alternative is, what are you going to replace using the same resources? Nigerians are not totally against removal of subsidy. But what is there that you're offering if you're going to remove it? But I said in that we will, as quickly as possible, bring in private sector investments supported us to build refineries, modular refineries, everything that is possible, and ensure that since it's for local distribution, sell fuel to them in Naira, the crude to them in Naira. If you do that over a period, I can tell you the price is not going to be as high as people can imagine. I've seen people bandit huge figures. It won't be. I've also done the numbers.
And are we going to get a glimpse of what your manifesto looks like?
Well,
I mean, are you going to codify all of this into a document? I mean, there'll be many people who may not get to read.
We're going to launch our manifesto very soon.
Right, but can you give us a breakdown of its essence and the key takeaways from it? I mean, what would you most want to convey to the public from it?
Well, for me, our manifesto is anchored on the Sustainable Development Goals. And key that is issues I mentioned before: security, uniting the country, ensuring that our cohesion comes back to what it used to be, issues of rule of law, law and order, fighting corruption, making the country productive, creating jobs. You can go on and on.
But you don't have that manifesto yet, or you have it, you don't want to
Our
release
manifesto, I can say today, is 95% ready. You mentioned it here, we just received from what they call, because we close with labor and TUC, they have what they call Charter of Demands, which we need to bring into our manifesto and ensure that the interest, which is critical, labor interest is critical, absolutely, that we bring it into our manifesto and protect them.
Right, and let me move into the foreign policy area, which is obviously critical for you because you're going to be working within the international community. What shape is that going to take if you became president? Everything from starting from the regions, your commitment to ECOWAS, to the Africa Continental Free Trade Area, which Nigeria seemed reluctant at the outset to sign and ratify, partly as a result of labor unions. How would you qualify your commitment to something like that?
First is that our foreign policy will remain Africa focused. It is critical, but what is important is that we have to deal with domestic issues. You need to bring about and turn around your domestic situation, make it robust and economically viable in order to be able to earn your respect internationally. As for issues of being involved with the Africa Free Trade and everything, Nigeria is signatory to it. I remain committed to it. Labour is not against it. Labour is against it because you're not productive. If you put in place what will make Nigeria productive, it is actually to our advantage. Where will anybody want to invest in Africa if not Nigeria? Because You have the biggest market. But it's a market that is today a place where you have the highest number of people, poor people. So your local demand is weak. Your productivity is weak. So you can't export. So you become uncompetitive. And that is the fear, because if you open up your borders, everybody's going to throw in, and you have nothing to sell to them. In the reality, we should be the one embracing that. So for me, by the time you move Nigeria from consumption to production, if we start cultivating our vast land in the north, Charles, where are we going to be exporting it to? Africa first. If we start turning around our manufacturing sector, where are we going to sell it? Africa first. So it is what we need to do is to, quickly as possible, put our economy in order, which will create good jobs. And we're going to sell the products to Africa.
And of course, an essential part of putting that.
Okay, Your Excellency, let us just call it a wrap at that point. Thank you very much for watching. It is Serious Matters on ONIF TV. Please do drop your comment, make them simple and civil. From what you have heard, you know, it's quite a lengthy video, you know, but I just said let me show you a few tips from, you know, what he said in that place. Very, very interesting in a topic. You know, I want you to watch again, listen again. What do these candidates have? That is what we should look out for during this campaign. That is what we should look out for. Money issues, if somebody is paying, and that, look, I don't even have any, that's not even the issue. The issue is whoever will come on board eventually as the president of Nigeria must be somebody who is competent, somebody who has the mind, who has the people at heart, who has the love of the people at heart, and who has the love of Nigeria at heart, who has a picture, a clear picture of what Nigeria should be, and I mean different from what it is at the moment. And well, from all indications, we are obedient. We believe that Peter Obi is the man that will do the job right. So let's please do our fact checks. Let's check properly to see whoever your choice is. That's fine, but make sure you are voting